No, this is not another parody. However, Fast Food Toy Reviews has come back. He even reviewed the set that I did. And he even said some of the stuff that I did.
So you can see it looks like there are 3 little bears, maybe, a little doggy, and then a little puppy there.
Look at that. That's pretty cool. It's got a puppy. So I think it's time to celebrate with a legitimate fast food toy line of my own. But what is there to review? Well, I'm going to be here to talk about a set that I don't hear really anyone talk about. Bionicle. You see, I think we can all agree, unless you're dumb, that Bionicle was some of the most ambitious and best toy lines back during the day. I mean, damn, they introduced a whole new level of articulation. Well, you know, except for Marvel Legends and Beast Wars. Oh, and also G.I. Joe, the first action figure ever made. And just like any good toy commercial, they had good toy commercials that were toys themselves. I know, a toy commercial that is a toy commercial. Like I said, most people talk about the original ones, the Tohunga, the Matoran, the Mictoran, if you will. And hey, they are pretty cool and important to the series. But what about the other era? Back during the era of 2006 and 2008, where they made toys based off of the actual characters. You had the 2 factions, the Toa and the villains. In total, you have 12 characters, and they decided to make 8 of the 12 to represent the entire series. But it does mean that a lot of characters do end up getting left out, and because they're McDonald's toys, you can't really fill that hole in your collection. And this especially sucks if most of your favorite characters from this range happen to not be represented. But hey, at least they got all the good ones for 2008, so can't really complain. Today I'm going to be talking about 2006, the Toa Anika and the Paraka. Why is this? Because it came out first, you fucking idiot. First up, we got everyone's least favorite character. Oh wait, no, that's Onua. But yeah, Jaller, the world's greatest character on the planet. And I think this is a perfect design for him. Because he somehow looks more like an obnoxious American cunt than he did in the original movie. And that's saying something. But I gotta say, as far as these figures go, for what they are, they're incredibly impressive. The sculpt work is phenomenal, and it actually captures the original toy so well. And even though it doesn't have all the articulation, they have pretty much the exact sculpt down to a T. Now, there are a couple of places where it's a little bit off, mostly the weapons, like these are a little bigger than they have any right to be, which is fine. And sometimes the weapons have like this weird extra plastic on, almost like a non-removable sprue. It does make that look a little bit on the cheaper side, but otherwise, they're very nice. And here's my favorite part about these figures, the articulation. For the most part, they have head, shoulders, and legs, or hips. But 5 points of articulation for a McDonald's toy. That is all I need. I don't need these to be super articulated because they're McDonald's toys. You know, whenever people review McDonald's stuff or fast food stuff, they're either A, super enthusiastic about everything no matter how bad it is, or B, they just shit on it because it's not as good as the store brand ones. It's like, you kind of have to look at these based on the fact that they have the budget of $1. Everyone says that these are free toys, but they're technically not. They cost around $1, so you have to work within that budget to make something as good as you can in that budget. And really, all I want, decent articulation, decent sculpt, and maybe a gimmick or two. In this case, his gimmick is that you can plug this in and press the button and it will shoot out, but, well, he didn't come with it. I got this in a lot, like 13 figures for $15, which is an amazing deal, but it also had this shipping. So, it was only okay. But when it comes to the cardboard, I assume, weapons that you plug in, they didn't have that. However, if you just use a little bit of cardboard, you can fairly easily put it in, and it actually does fire. I know, crazy, right? And here's a bonus. If you're slightly artistic, or in my case, slightly autistic, you can draw whatever you want on it. It's even better. Oh, and speaking of artistic, I actually found my old sketchbook when I visited Texas that I had since I was in high school and college. And I think that the quality is... A lot of these figures have that gimmick, and I'm kind of neutral on it. I think it's effective, it's cool, it's pretty much all I need. But it does mean if you don't have the weapon or a cardboard replacement, it kind of just doesn't do anything. But hey, at least it has an extra joint of articulation. I won't lie, Anika Jaller has always been one of my least favorite Toa designs. Probably not that bad, but it's pretty close. I just really don't like how they have really detailed faces with eyes and mouths, as opposed to just eyes. But as far as a McDonald's toy goes, this is really good. Next up, we got our girl Hahli. Wait a minute. I don't fucking like Hahli. No, like I said, the Toa Anika, they've always been like my least favorite of the Toa designs, but even I gotta admit, this design, it's not so bad. Though, I don't know what's going on with his mouth. She's basically the same figure, just a couple points of articulation. Even has some copyright stuff down there. Yep, 2006 Lego. And it does indeed have the coveted head articulation. Her gimmick does not include this gun, that's just kind of molded on there. But hers includes this weapon, which you press the button and it lights up. Doesn't really work on mine, and considering the fact that this is from 2006, yeah, probably should have seen that coming. So a little unfortunate. I wonder if there's a way to replace it, because you do have screwdrivers there, but like, okay, what kind of screwdriver could you use to replace that? A Zelda one? That was a fucking horrendous joke. Oh boy, it's everyone's favorite character, Matoro. So is it sacrilegious to say that this design fucking sucks ass? I always liked Matoro when he was this shy little cute guy that he was as a Matoran. But here he's got this weird monster mash face. This is one that I had as a kid, and I swear, every single time I turned it around, for some reason, he reminded me of the scrawny guy from Mr. Meaty. I don't know why that's what this reminds me of, but looking at it now, it still kind of does. I'm going to be honest. Unfortunately, he does not have any head articulation, and that's because of his gimmick, where you pull this out and then it comes back. Why does he have a hook that comes out of his tit? I don't know why that's the thing. Why couldn't he have something with his sword or his gun? But hey, I mean, it's not terrible. Interestingly enough, this actually is a yellowed figure, but it's not the white parts that are yellowed. It's the chest. It's the chest is like a weird yellow instead of its gray color. Actually, it's pretty normal on the back, but on the front, can you even see like the different colorations? I don't think you can. I think it's just in person, but yeah, Matoro's probably the least good of the three so far, but hey, he's not bad. It's Matoro. How could he be bad? Tony Stark! Alright, next up we got Neparu, and alright, I gotta be honest. I think Neparu is my favorite of the Anika dudes. I mean, the other ones are fairly understandable. You have Jaller, Kongu, Matoro, Hyuki. Those were the ones you got with the McDonald's set, so they're the most iconic of the Matoran. You have Hahli, who's just the McDonald's one, but she actually has the correct mask. They very easily could have had Onipu, but instead they're like, nah, Neparu? The guy who made the fucking Boxor? The one with an actual personality? Nah, make him the Toa instead. I mean, what does Onipu have over Neparu? Let's be honest. It's got a purple mask instead of an orange one. Alright, you know what, fair enough. Maybe he is the better character. I used to kind of dislike this design. I thought the head was kind of hokey, but I think it actually kind of works, and with the simple design of it, just kind of makes him look cool. He's got the same sword that Hahli does, but this one actually glows. Would you look at that? Oh, that's so cool. And he has a claw hand here that moves. God damn, Neparu, you spoil us so. Yeah, of the four Toas that you get in this wave, Neparu is easily the best. So that was all pretty cool, right? Well, now it's time to get to everyone's favorite characters in Bionicle, the Paraka. And why not? They're probably the best villains since the Bohrok. And the Bohrok were just tiny little guys that we liked because... Wait, why do people like it again? I mean, I'm not judging. They're my favorites too, but I mean, come on. Paraka. What's not to love about this? Oh, jacked up my thumb. Shit, that fucking hurts. Now, I gotta say, didn't bother looking up the names of the Paraka. Dude, I can barely remember half of the Bohrok, okay? I just know who Levok's name is, because I use them in VR chat. The Paraka? You want the names from me? Nah, dude, just go watch the Paraka rap or something. Yo, Paraka! That is the only time I'm gonna make a Paraka rap joke. It's funny, but whenever people talk about the Paraka, that is the only thing they talk about. It's not that fucking funny anymore. Then again, I made a joke about it myself, so who's the real hypocrite? Me! So we got the red Paraka, and it's unfortunately not as good. I mean, it's not bad, but it's a little bit weird. First off, he's got these really weird legs. They are in this stance, and you know what? Some of them are in kind of an awkward stance. That's okay. But why are they so, like, close together? It just kind of feels unnatural. Like, it doesn't really stand properly. My main issue, though, are his arms. They're just kind of awkward. Like, what is this? I don't know what they're going for. It's not, like, abysmal, but it makes him look like he's part of the Hordika. Like a Toa Hordika. And, probably shouldn't remind me of those. He's also got this arm, which is really straight and long, so it looks kind of unnatural. But he's got a unique gimmick. Wait a minute, is that the fucking Vaki? It is! It's the Vaki head! Alright, you know what? 10 out of 10. Alright, Vezok is the only one I bothered to look up his name and make sure I remember it, because, I mean, he was Tahu's rival in the final year, which just kind of feels like when Leffen was Hungrybox's rival. It's like, no the fuck you're not. Your old rival just left you. His gimmick is pretty much the same thing. You just plug in cardboard, haha, middle finger Gardevoir, wholesome memes.
Wholesome, I love Gardevoir.
Gotta say, though, it's about as standard a Paraka as you can get. In my house, that means he's the best of the 8. He just looks really cool, man. Got kind of a tiny little hand, but I don't really mind. It's all molded parts. I don't really mind. I think it's kind of charming. And I like these legs. I don't know what it is, but whenever we have McDonald's figures for Bionicle that have these legs with the thighs that have this really nice detailing and these chicken feet, I don't know. It's charming as hell, although unfortunately he is a little bit on the yellowy side. His gun's yellowing and his chest is yellowing. Unfortunately, they did have a green Bionicle figure. It's probably my least favorite. I don't know what this guy's name is, but he just looks really awkward and kind of goofy. He's got these feet, which are kind of cool. Would have been really cool if you made the green Baraki and used these feet with them, you fucking cunts! No, it's okay. Shh, it's not your fault. Shh, it's McDonald's fault. He's got the hook thing as well, but mine's broken. It doesn't come back, so might have to figure that one out. Quick update, but I figured out he actually has a button right there that you can use this for, but, well, it's not very effective, because that's it. That's all the action you get out of that. He also has this really cheap-looking weapon, like, okay. This? Not offensive, but this? Come on, man, you can see the individual blades connected like it's a frog leg. What the hell? Also, I'm not really a big fan of this. What is going on there? I don't know. Mix that together with the really weird colors of dark green and puke yellow. It's just not a very likable figure. It's not bad, but, I mean, it is easily the weakest of the 8. And finally, we have the black Parakan. Wait, black? Are you fucking kidding me? You didn't make a brown figure? Come on. The brown Paraka was the last time, not counting G2, I think, that they had a brown Bionicle figure. Because after this, we had Hyuki and the Crab Dude. They were yellow. 2008, you had Beetle, who was yellow, and then Bohatu was orange. Blasphemy! You had 2009 that I know nothing about, but it's not bad. It's just I don't know about it. And then they made the fucking Roxy yellow. The Roxy weren't yellow, idiot. Stupid. I don't know. What? Even McDonald's apparently hates brown Toa. Anyways, on to the actual figure. It's interesting. He's got these goggles on him to make him look a bit more unique, but in my opinion, they just look really stupid. Also, they have light piping, but I can't show them off. But they work. Just take my word for it. That's the signs of a quality YouTuber. I won't show it off. Just trust me, dude. He's got this really long arm, and while it doesn't have shoulder articulation, it does have a bicep swivel, so that almost makes up for it. But what actually makes up for it is his gimmick. It's actually pretty cool. It's not a bad figure. Just really wish they made this one. In fact, I think actually there's like a custom Lego Clayface before there was an official one that used that minifigure's head. So that's funny. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Bionicle 2006 McDonald's toy set. Toy set? Okay, I guess we're going with that. Set of 8 awesome little figures released back in McDonald's. This is a really good set. If you don't really want to spend a lot of money on the actual figures themselves, not that bad. I'd say in order of favorites, from least favorite, Vezok, Neparu, I guess Hahli, black guy, red guy, these two, no, that one, and then these two. These two are better, but like, I don't know, give me a fucking break. I don't like the Anika. Now, I do say that the Anika are my least favorite of the designs. That's just a personal thing. I know a lot of people really like these designs. So, when you look at it from, not an objective, but an impartial view, probably one of the best McDonald's sets ever made. I mean, I said that they were pretty good, but that was comparing them with the actual Bionicle stuff. When you compare them to the rest of the McDonald's stuff, wow! Sculpt work, accurate colors, legitimate articulation, even if it's simplistic, and still decent gimmicks? What an incredible set. So, I guess it's time to ask the painful question. What happened to fast food toys? Yes, I, a nearly 23-year-old dude, is whining because toys that cost $1 that you get in Happy Meals that are aimed actually at children are not as good as they used to be. What a fucking man, baby, I know. But a lot of people have been asking this question, and why is that? Have they gotten lazy? Maybe. But here's my take on it. I think it's inflation. You see, McDonald's toys are very similar to video games. Video games have always costed $60. That made actually owning video games back in the day way too expensive. And you basically just rented them from Blockbuster, beat them, and then brought them back. And you might have occasionally had 1 or 2 games that you kept. But as time progressed, and money lost its value, but video games were still at $60, it's pretty easy to collect now. Still expensive, but hey, not so bad. And, well, that's what happened with these. These have always been $1 to buy. But, you know, because of inflation, $1 is basically useless now. So why is this different from video games? Well, $60 is still a lot of money. But McDonald's toys, they're a bit niche. And we have to look at the budget. This is the budget of $1. The budget of $1 back then and the budget of $1 today are very different. So I think that's why they've gotten a lot worse. I think if they made them $3, or dare I say $5, but they were all roughly this good, I'd probably go to McDonald's.
Okay, hang on. Hey, I've got the same of both toy, and it turns out I want.
You have to settle for the
stupid fucking robot!
Yeah, fuck me. That would be me right there. That would be me. So that's going to be about it. I'll see you next time, probably not next video, when I take a look at the 2007 set. Because hey, someone has to consistently review all 3 of the sets.